The plumber was already facing murder charges in connection with another homicide when detectives discovered the sinister plot.
Mary Beth McDade is live in the KTLA News Center with the chilling details. MB.
Mike and Chair, prosecutors were preparing their case against this Camarillo plumber for allegedly murdering a co-worker for financial gain. That's when they say they discovered some suspicious bank activity between the plumber and another man. That man had supposedly died of natural causes, but they say after exhuming his body, they learned he had actually been murdered with fentanyl.
38-year-old Rothery Foster, a plumber from Camarillo, was awaiting trial for murdering his coworker, 35-year-old Jose Velasquez, when Ventura County prosecutors say they made a startling discovery. Velasquez wasn't the first man Foster had allegedly murdered for money.
As they saw a troubling and similar pattern, the potential for murder for financial gain.
Foster was charged last summer for murdering Velasquez, whose body was found in the Santa Monica Mountains in October 2022. Authorities say they learned Foster had been using the victim's credit card.
That the defendant violently and forcibly took ATM passwords and checks from Velasquez and used those financial instruments for gas, cash, clothing, and food.
In preparation to prosecute Foster for Velasquez's murder, they obtained the victim's bank records and noticed several suspicious bank transactions between Foster's account and an account belonging to 72-year-old Bill Levy of Granada Hills. Prosecutors began looking into what the connection was between Foster and Levy.
Mr. Foster, it was learned, worked for a large plumbing company who had dispatched to the Granada Hills townhouse on several occasions.
They also discovered that Levy, who was never married and lived alone, had been found dead in his townhouse on January 10, 2022, supposedly from natural causes. And all those suspicious deposits from Levy's account into Foster's took place the next day. Well, authorities thought that was too much of a coincidence and had Levy's body exhumed.
The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office performed the autopsy, and the results showed that Mr. Levy's cause of death was the effects of fentanyl, and they ruled Mr. Levy's manner of death as a homicide.
After further investigation, Foster was arrested for Levy's murder this past Monday. So how did the medical examiner miss this years ago? Well, the DA says an autopsy was never originally conducted.
And the medical examiner had conversations with the primary care physician of Mr. Levy. There were conversations about the state of his health, and it was determined on the basis of those conversations that an autopsy was not needed, that most likely the cause of death was of natural causes.
Prosecutors say they've linked Foster to other crimes and other victims and tell us he has also served time in the early 2000s for manslaughter and assault with a deadly weapon. For now, reporting live here in News Center, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Mary Beth, thank you.
Meet the tokens. Penguin. Tucks to the Lux. Flyers Tycoon. Scott T. Astronaut. Spacewalk the dog. One small step for man's best friend. Cyclops. It's a one-eyed, one-horned buying blue or bull property eater. Monopoly Go. Download now.
Well, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $20,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a 20-year-old man. He's wanted for his role in a string of violent armored truck robberies.
The authorities say he is among 10 men, including 2 sets of brothers who are now facing charges in the case. WGN's Angelica Sanchez breaks down the FBI's efforts to capture the remaining suspect.
The FBI wants the public to speak up for any information that could lead to the arrest of 20-year-old Avion Wilson of Indiana. He's described as armed and dangerous. His arrest has become a matter of public safety. A shootout caught on camera in front of Walmart shoppers in Country Club Hills. The scene unfolding last October. Several suspects attempted to rob an armored truck.
They actually fled in their car, and the armored car driver drove into the vehicle, rendering it disabled. The three suspects then continued firing.
During their escape, they are accused of committing more crimes.
They encountered a young family and attempted to carjack them, but were unsuccessful and instead carjacked an elderly Vietnam veteran who had just pulled in the parking lot.
The FBI says this is one example of the recklessness displayed by the group known as the Perry Avenue Boys. They say two sets of brothers are among the 10 men now facing charges of conspiracy to rob armored trucks and ATMs in the Chicago suburbs.
They often take the ATM technician or security guard by surprise.
Special Agent Daniel Brockelman says 9 of the 10 suspects are in custody. One of them is still on the run, identified as 20-year-old Avion Wilson.
Avion Wilson is a very dangerous individual.
Wilson was captured on video inside an armored truck stuffing stacks of cash in a bin.
This group particularly is extremely reckless. They operate in teams of 2 to 5, with each one of them being armed with a semi-automatic handgun or a rifle at the time of the robbery.
He says Wilson has ties to South Chicago, Gary, Indiana, and Indianapolis. He can be recognized by his distinctive eyebrows and tattoos seen in these photographs.
He's one of our last major targets associated with Perry Avenue Boys. The Perry Avenue Boys have been around for quite a while. It comes from the 124th Street and Perry Avenue in West Pullman, Chicago.
Wilson's arrest has become a matter of public safety.
They're extremely violent, they're indiscriminate in their nature, and they're motivated by greed. And they're going to do anything they can to obtain the money.
Again, the FBI is offering a cash reward of up to $20,000. Tips can be sent to 1-800-CALL-FBI. They say people that remain anonymous are still eligible to collect reward money. Reporting near the city's west side, Angelica Sanchez, WGN.